Hello everyone, welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 2 video. This is Joey Plays and Build, where we play and build the Jurassic Park. Now we are continuing with the safari adventure. The last video was the Alamosaurus Habitat. I did add some few dinosaurs along the way, but we're going to focus the second part of the safari adventures with the Torosaurus and the Edmontosaurus, sticking with some of the Cretaceous dinosaurs. Now, here I'm building the Jurassic Tour entrance, and I gotta say I'm not feeling it right now because it's kind of feel a little bit tropical, but maybe it will change down the line. But that is the entrance for the safari tour. Okay, now for the layout of the habitat. I decided to keep the Alamosaurus into their own habitat instead of just making one giant safari zone-esque habitat where multiple dinosaurs are roaming around. So I just want to keep the dinosaurs in one single habitat. So we're building the Torosaurus and Edmontosaurus. And there's two Jurassic tour rides here. One that we obviously built the entrance for is going to cross to the Triceratops Tuck. Thank you Project Millions for the name suggestion. And it will transition here into the hotel area where guests can stop by, maybe register for a hotel and stayed and watch our dinosaurs. I felt like that would be a nice stay, right? And then once they're settled in and they could want to go back, they could go into the tour again and right where they last left off. So that was the whole plan here. Again, a lot of trials and errors. The speed this is possibly the fastest of the time lapse. So, granted, like this took me 2 days, but I'll say like in total between breaks. However, it's like 10 hours. I feel, or maybe more. I don't know, but yeah. You gotta take your time on these type of games. You don't rush it, or else you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And of course, it's okay to have some, trial and errors, which I've done a lot. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm far from it, but this is why I made these videos. So hopefully, you guys can help me out what I could change in the future. Now we're going outside from the safari adventure, and this is what I see a lot in zoos. They'll have something like a little display, like a little garden display or a planter display or fountains, whatever, outside from their exhibit or attraction. So I kind of want that to feel like, some African vibe going on. Even though we are dealing with North American dinosaurs, I still want it to feel like or you're going to some sort of African safari zone. And what better complements that are these Mediterranean trees, which I use a lot here. Something that I should have done in the Jurassic Tour entrance in the beginning. Instead of using the tropical trees, I should have used the Mediterranean trees. But yeah, this is how basically the whole build is 80% is just building outer layers with planters and stuff. And now we go to the 20% of the build, and it's the habitat. And this is quite possibly the most easiest habitat because the dinosaurs that we are using only need one resources, which is ground fiber and forest, and they don't really need that much. They're not picky like some sauropods out there. The only need is ground fiber. You could add some trees, but here's something that I just added for, because I didn't add it at all in any of my builds, but we are adding it here, which is dung, big pile of dung. But this is not just dung. It's not we're playing the pretend game, are termite mounds. And I think it's actually pretty neat, a little exterior in our habitats to think that these are termite mounds, you know what I mean? So yeah, there it is. This is the habitat for Edmontosaurus and Torosaurus. We'll go to endgame. Okay, so we are here in endgame, and this is our little sign for the Safari Adventure, or not really a sign, but it's like a little banner, like, okay, this is the Safari Adventure, and it's that way. And we have our little arrow here. I know it says the visitor center, but again, we don't have a lot of customizable signs. We can't make signs, so let's just pretend this visitor center says Safari Adventure that way. You see that in a lot in zoos, like a little um, directions, ugh, directions where to go, like a little map. So yeah, so this is the entrance that we built from the last game, our Alamosaurus, and they also have a neighbor here, and our neighbor is none other than the fan favorite Parasaurolophus, who also loves tall nut as well, so it's perfect for them, and they're all satisfied with the habitat. Unlike the Alamosaurus, are still not satisfied. Two sauropods, and they still need a bigger area. We're not gonna focus on this habitat. We're gonna focus on here. So this is the second part of the Jurassic tour. This Jurassic tour will stop you here into the hotels, and here is whether or not you want to stay into the safari adventure or just move on to the tour. But there's plenty of hotels, so you could stay and watch some of our dinosaurs left or right. Anyways, you could go to the tour here, and the first exhibit is the Edmontosaurus and the Torosaurus. And of course, you see dung. These are not dung, these are termite mounds. Again, we're playing pretend here. And you see, I think prehistoric kingdom, right? Termite mounds are one of the resources for the dinosaurs, so there's that. So here's our Edmontosaurus, and if you notice, the skin pattern of the Edmontosaurus are different. That's because, sexual dimorphism. Usually the male birds are the more colorful, vibrant ones, like the peafowl. And the female, they hardly don't have colors, and they don't really need colors because the color patterns are for mating displays anyway. So, a little sexual dimorphism for our Edmontosaurus. The Torosaurus, however, I didn't really add a lot of skin pattern. Oh, by the way, the Edmontosaurus is mangrove forest and pulperana, while the female is mangrove forest and just blank pattern. Okay. So we have Torosaurus here, and again, I didn't really change their skin pattern, but I really like their little spots on their frill. So kind of like, again, like sexual dimorphism. Maybe they show that for like mating displays. But I do feel bad for the Torosaurus because they're usually underrated or overshadowed by their famous cousin, the Triceratops. Even though the Torosaurus is a beautiful dinosaur. But yeah, so there's the habitat. And I don't know if you hear some sort of buzzing. I don't know if those are fly buzzing or the wind breezing, but that would be a cool detail if there is flies. I don't know if you can see it. Let's zoom into the dung. You could hear buzzing. That is a good detail. I mean, there is a lot of dung here anyways. Yeah, you could hear the buzzing. That is a nice touch. I like that from Frontier. But yeah, these are not dung. These are termite mounds, or let's pretend the termite mounds. And like it is kind of weird how this little dinosaur could poop out to that. But I digress, guys. So yeah, this is the I could still hear the buzz. I think that's just the wind breezing. I'm not sure, but I we do see some flies around that dung. But yeah, there it is. This is the second part of the safari adventure. Future builds is the third part of the build. That's going to be the Corythosaurus and the Euoplocephalus that's requested by Wasted. And for here, this is the habitat I built before the Edmontosaurus and Torosaurus. I don't know what yet. This was supposed to be the Alamosaurus habitat, but I decided to separate the habitat altogether so we could add some dinosaurs in this habitat. I don't know what yet. I will think about it maybe down the line. But yeah, this is the build. Comment down below what you guys think of this build. Any criticism or advice, suggestion, anything that would help me improve my park building skills, and maybe I could implement that in the next video. But that will be it for me, guys. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe, because we have a lot to do here. And I hope you guys join me into this ride. And I'll see you in next time in the next build. Thank you guys for watching.